Hey guys, welcome back to another drifting video. On this I'm going to give you some tips on tuning on all-wheel drive. I'm not going to show you the setups what I use, but I'm just going to give you tips so you've got an idea on how to tune it yourself. And I'm going to do it on the RX-7 because I know everyone can get this RX-7. So what we're going to do is just jump straight in, and we're going to look at the engine conversion. And on this, everyone makes the same mistake. Everyone just goes for the horsepower, and on drifting you want higher torque. But if you look at the rotary engine, it's got higher horsepower and it's got higher torque. But when you take all limits off, I'll show you now. I'll buy it and I'll show you. I'll take limits off, then there we go. Where is it? There we go. I'll take limits off, and that's all you can do. And everyone puts his engine in because they think it's the best engine, and you've only got 700 horsepower and you've only got 466 torques, and for drifting that isn't good. So I'm gonna probably do what everyone's gonna say not to do. I'm gonna put the 5.7 litre V8 in, because yeah, off the line it's got less horsepower and less torque, but once you've done it up, the horsepower is near enough the same, around 700 as what the other one was, but the torque is a hell of a lot higher. It's the same as the horsepower near enough. By the way, this is going to be all-wheel drive tips on it. So I chuck it all-wheel drive. Then what I'm going to do is, because instead of just going through each and individual setup, I'm just going to whack this on and take off what I don't want. So I do this, and 1 second, just let it do it. Then we're going to go on it, click on a part, and just go up. Now you see it's got 789 horsepower and it's also got 748 torque, and that is your bet on all-wheel drive drifting. You want a lot of torque, so this is the better engine to use. So you put all these upgrades on like what it has done. You've always got to check your flywheel, because sometimes it don't put your flywheel on. Same on this, it puts everything on which you want. I think it puts everything on. Let's just check. I know it does on your engine, but I'm not sure on everything else. Oh yeah, I think it does. I think the only thing it don't put on is the gearbox. So give us a second. Sorry about this. Yeah, there we go. It's all on. That's what we want. Now what we've got to do on this one is it never puts this on. So you've always got to put your race differential on. This is so you can alter your diff, and I'll come to steps later on about this. And on your body, you can, on your tyres should I say, you always want stock tyres, because you want it to slide. You want it to slide more, and as you can see, these give it more grip. Some put drag tyres on. I'm not a big fan of them. I just prefer stock. So stock tyres, and you want stock width as well, because it's drifting. It's all-wheel drive and it's drifting. Rear-wheel drive, you put as wide as you can on, but all-wheel drive, you want as thin as you can get on. Now, on your rims, you can have whatever rims you want. I'm just going to stick any on it just for sake of having some rims on. Oh, 1 second. I'm going to pick some horrible. I'll stick them on. It's on it. Your rims don't count. Your rims don't really matter, and the size of your rims, it doesn't matter. It's just preference. It's just what you like. And then we're just gonna stick some body on it. Bormex. I always love Bormex. Don't want a spoiler because it's all-wheel drive. Rear-wheel drive, it's debatable. All-wheel drive, you don't really need one. This is just to make it visually look nice, which I'm probably wasting my point because it's a drifting video. So what you want to do now is, when you go on your tuning setup, press X, it goes straight on your tuning. Now because you're drifting, what I normally do is I put my tyre PSI all the way to the top, as you'll see here. I'll just max out my tyre pressure. And then what you want to do is go to your differential, because if you go to your diff, all this is different. Now, just because you're tuning on it, just put them to 100 and put these to 0. just so it gives you a better handle, and we'll come back to this later and we'll fine tune this later. So basically that's what you want for the time being. I always run my brakes like this. I always have run my brakes like this. It's just one of the things I do. It's just my personal preference. So what we're going to do is go on to Silverstone and we'll go on to National. Now other thing I forgot to do is my camber, because put on your camber, I'll tell you, I'll load up. When I'm first doing my tuning setup, I always put my camber to 2 or 2.5 front rear. I always put it to 2.5 because it's easier to start tuning from when it's up there. So if you go on your camber, just put it 2.5. We're gonna alter this later on. It's just putting it up there for personal, just putting it up there for the time being. So what we want to do is just spin round. And we're gonna go to this S-bend, and here we're gonna one minute to get there. Yeah, bad driving. Now what you want to do is just drive around this and see what it feels like. It's like at the minute it's feeling very flat and I'm having to use my handbrake to get it out slightly. You see how I'm having to use my handbrake quite a bit to get it out. So what you want to do now is, let me just get it back out here, is this is where we're going to go back onto your alignment and we're going to play around with your toe. Now if your back end of your car will not step out, on your toe here, on your back, just put it to 1. Just put it, because it's a new car, you're learning your setup, and what this does, it puts your rear tyres facing outwards. 1 minute, and there we go. Then what you'll see is the rear tyres is facing outwards a little bit. Yeah, I'll put it on max. I'll put it on maximum, so some of you know what I mean. Because you can't really see it when it's like that. I'll just put it on 5 just so it stands out better. You see how it's pointing outwards a little bit. So now we'll put it back down to 1. Now this isn't a setup. I'm just telling you. I'm just giving you tips, if you know what I mean, on how to tune all-wheel drive. So now it's on 1. What you'll do is you'll just go around here and you'll notice your back end is stepping out a little bit better. It's stepping out a little bit better. You don't have to use your handbrake as much, and it's stepping out a lot better than where it were before. And that's what you want. And what you'll find is there's a perfect sweet spot to have your toe on. I'm just gonna put it up a little bit more. I'll put it to 2, and you'll find the back end will step out a lot more now. If you watch, the back end steps out a lot more easier. It's a lot easier to stick the back end out, which that's what you want in drifting. And what you want to do now is, you see how it snaps back a little bit. Then now go to your front toe. You want to alter this. It doesn't really make much difference. It just helps you when you're steering into corners. Put it to 1 degree and see what it feels like for you. Don't forget, I'm just giving you tips here. I'm not giving you, this isn't my setup. I'm just giving you tips on how to do it. And the back end will step out again, and you'll feel that it's a lot easier now to bring your car back over, to switch there. Now there's this camber and toe, what's on this at the minute, it's not perfect for the car. It really does want adjusting. So have a play around with your camber and your toe till it feels, and on your camber that helps it slide a lot more. So if you put that to 3, it'll feel like it's more on ice, and it'll handle a little bit better on corners as well, but it'll feel like ice. It'll feel a lot more slippy, but it'll hand on corners a little bit, as you can see here. But like I say, That's entirely up to you, because that you can have your camber however you want, however slidey you want your car. Just play with this, and it'll also help you a hell of a lot on your corners. And I have some of my setups, they are completely out of whack, and you'll look at it and you'll think, what the hell is that? And now what we're gonna do, can we see how it's all right there in third gear? That's good. I like how it's drifting here in third gear. But some cars, on some corners, you will struggle. It probably wants adjusting slightly. So what you want to do is go onto your tuning setup yet again and go on your gearing. And instead of just adjusting your final drive, just adjust your fourth gear. Just put it to acceleration by 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then do the same with these 5. I ain't really counted these exact, but then you'll find it'll be easier through your gears. It's a lot more lively now in your third gear, and it feels a lot better, a hell of a lot better. I'm going to end this here, and like I said, I'll come back later on my next part video. I will talk more on my anti-rolls, my springs, my dampening and my differential as well. So like I said, just give these a play. Just put your camber to that to start off with, and just like I said, just drive backwards and forwards around this corner. And if your car's not stepping out and it's driving around like it's perfectly all-wheel drive, just go on your tuning setup and just put your toe out a little bit. Just put it out 1 degree to see what it feels like to you. And if you think it needs stepping out more for your taste of drifting, then add a little bit more toe out. And if you think it needs a little bit more, just keep playing with it and keep playing it a bit more. And same on your front. And yeah, I'm going to end it here, and we're going to come back and we're going to play on the anti-rolls, well, everything else, because it's been quite a long video. So yeah, just have a play around with your camber, and I shall be back in a bit. So yeah, thank you for watching, and peace.